we now move to our third presentation, which brings us to a critical and evolving aspect of language services in the age of technology. It's my pleasure to introduce Professor Song Bernard, who will be speaking on the topic guarding quality, embracing tools, interpreters in the AI era. Please join me in welcoming Professor Song online. Are you here, Professor?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Perfect. Let me share my screen.
So I'll be sitting and enjoying Song Bernard's presentation.
I hope everybody can see my screen. Okay, let me get started. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Dr. Bernard Song. I'm an AIC member and also ATA member. I'm also a conference interpreter, obviously, and a computer scientist by training. I'm thrilled today to discuss a topic that's on everybody's mind, the intersection of interpretation and artificial intelligence. Now, we are living through a period of incredible technology change, and AI is undoubtedly reshaping the industries, including our own. So today, we're going to explore how we as interpreters can navigate in this new era, not by fearing AI, but by understanding it, leveraging it, and ultimately reaffirming the irreplaceable value of human expertise. Our focus will be on guarding quality, embracing tools. So we're constantly bombarded with headlines about AI breakthroughs. We see apps promising instant translation and hear claims that machines will soon make human interpreters obsolete. It's easy to get caught up in the buzz or even feel threatened by it. But today, our goal is to cut through the noises. We need to critically examine what AI can and cannot do in the context of interpretation. Is it a replacement, an assistant, or something else entirely? Let's separate science fiction from the current reality. Over the next 40 to 45 minutes, we'll embark on a journey. First, we'll demystify some key AI concepts like AI speech translation, AGI, and singularity, and understand why today's AI, despite its advancements, fundamentally falls short of human interpretation. Then we will directly address and debunk the prevalent myth and misleading marketing claims surrounding AI in our field. Following that, we'll discuss concrete strategies for how we can pivot and leverage AI tools to enhance our work and remain indispensable. I'll then showcase two powerful tools, Google's Notebook LM and GreenTurb's recent launch, TurpMate, demonstrating how they can revolutionize our operation and delivery. Finally, we'll look ahead, discussing the crucial balance between fundamental skills and technological literacy in interpreter training and practice. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, first, let's clarify what most AI interpretation tools actually do. They perform AI speech translation. This isn't a single intelligent act like human interpretation. It's a cascading process, as described in this flowchart. First, the automatic speech translation, ASR, will convert spoken words into text. Then the machine translation will translate the text into another language. And finally, text-to-speech synthesis turns the translated text back to the audible speech. Now, you notice the steps. It is sequential and technical. This is fundamentally different from the holistic, real-time cognitive processes humans use. And there is a reason the industry calls it speech translation. It lacks the core elements of true interpretation. Why does this distinction matter? Because communication is vastly more complex than just words. Research suggests only about 7% of the meaning comes from the words themselves. And 38% comes from vocal elements like tones and intonations. And a massive 55% from the visual cues, body language. The current AI speech translation primarily tackles only that 7%. It struggles immensely with tone and is completely blind to body language. Humans, on the other hand, integrate all of this. We understand the concept, the cultural nuances, idioms like break a leg, the sarcasm, the emotional states, the hidden meanings, and resolve ambiguities in real time. AI simply processes, but humans interpret. Now, you might hear talk about the future AI, like AGI, artificial general intelligence, machines with human-like cognitive abilities, such as memory, logical understanding and reasoning, and even emotions. Or even singularity, where AI surpasses human intelligence altogether. Could AGI interpret? Theoretically, perhaps, but experts disagree wildly on timelines. Some say it's going to be 5 to 10 years. Others say many decades, if ever. And singularity, if it happens, the displacement of interpreters will be the least of humanity's concerns. We'd be facing fundamental questions about our species' future and control. While fascinating, these are distant, speculative horizons. They shouldn't distract us from reality and limitations of today's AI and how we navigate the current landscape. So, where does current AI speech translation demonstrably fail? In any situation where nuance, context, and human understanding are paramount, think about legal proceedings, interpreting intent behind ambiguous phrasing, or medical consultations requiring empathy and absolute precision. Consider high-level diplomacy built on subtext or cultural sensitivity, or technological fields with specialized, rapidly changing jargons. Even leadership addresses or sales pitches rely on emotional connection and persuasion that AI simply cannot replicate. AI's literal context-blind approach can lead to more than just awkwardness. It can result in serious consequences, legal liabilities, medical errors, failed negotiations, and broken trust. The stakes are too high for good enough. The market is also flooded with hypes, often designed to mislead. Let's tackle some common myths head on. First, the claim of cost savings with comparable quality. Yes, AI is cheaper upfront, but as we all have seen, the quality is not comparable or demanding tasks. It lacks accuracy, coherence, and context. In high-stakes situations, it is a false economy that can cost far more than in the long run. Second, the boasting of supporting all languages simultaneously. This isn't a unique selling point. It is a standard feature of the underlying engines from tech giants such as Google, Microsoft that most RSI platforms use. It's also potentially wasteful from an environmental perspective if only a few languages are actually needed. And third, the idea that certain platforms have smarter AI due to custom glossaries or industry tuning. Again, custom glossary input is a standard function or feature available in all the major engines. These platforms are typically integrating existing tech, not creating fundamentally superior AI. So, who actually builds these powerful AI speech translation engines? It's not the smaller RSI platforms that you might encounter. Developing this technology requires immense resources, vast data sets, supercomputing power, and huge R&D investments. The real players are the tech giants, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Baidu, Tencent, iFlyTech, and AliCloud, etc. Most other providers are essentially just system integrators, building a user interface on top of these existing engines. This raises a critical point often obscured
وهذا يطلب منا
by
وأحيانا
marketing. So that's the transparency issue. Users rarely know which underlying engine is processing their potentially sensitive conversations, leading to significant privacy and security questions. There is a growing need for regulation, as suggested by bodies like Safe AI, for example, demanding platforms to disclose whose technology they're using. Now, you might even see claims about certified AI interpreters or AI passing interpretation tests or achieving human parity. Let's be crystal clear. This is marketing theater, not scientific reality. Slapping a Turing test label on this doesn't make AI an interpreter at all. True interpretation demands skills far beyond pattern matching. There is cultural fluency, ethical judgment, emotional intelligence, and adaptability. Comparing current AI output to a certain human interpreter is fundamentally flawed. It ignores the vast qualitative differences. The next time you hear such a claim, ask the simple question, would you trust a machine in its current state to negotiate a peace treaty, to deliver a complex medical diagnosis, or interpret in a life or death legal case? The answer for any high-stakes scenario is clearly no. So how do we respond? Trying to fight AI head-on, denying its existence or capabilities is likely a losing battle, especially given the public perception. A more strategic approach is to let the limitations of AI-only solutions speak for themselves. When clients try AI for complex tasks and encounter its shortcomings, that's our opportunity. We position ourselves not as Luddites resisting technology, but as AI-enhanced human experts. The game is shifting. It is no longer about humans versus AI. It's increasingly about humans plus AI competing against standalone AI or even less prepared humans. Our strategy should be to partner with AI, leveraging its strength to augment our own irreplaceable skills, thereby elevating our value proposition. So how do we partner effectively? By strategically leveraging AI for tasks where it can genuinely help freeing up our cognitive load for what truly matters. Think about preparation. AI tools can rapidly scan and summarize vast amounts of background materials information, help us generate initial glossary lists for general terms, or extract key terminology from documents. I think in the previous keynote speech, Nora has done a very good job in illustrating and demonstrating, the techniques of summarizing or extracting glossaries there. So during the assignment itself, AI can also act as a tireless assistant, catching the tricky numbers or names and providing quick terminology reminders or handling highly repetitive phrases. This hybrid workflow allows the AI to handle the grunt work of information processing and recall, while we, the human interpreters, focus our energy on the high-value aspects, interpreting nuances, navigating cultural complexities, conveying emotion, applying ethical judgment, understanding the strategic intent, and managing the human interaction. AI assists, and we, the human, delivers. Critically, we must constantly emphasize what makes human interpreters unique and irreplaceable, especially in the context of current and foreseeable AI. Machines cannot build trust and rapport, which are vital in sensitive legal, medical, or personal interactions. They lack ethical judgment to navigate morally complex situations. They don't possess true cultural fluency, the deep understanding that goes far beyond literal translation. They cannot adapt or improvise when conversations take unexpected turns. They lack genuine emotional intelligence to connect with speakers and listeners on a human level. And importantly, AI offers no accountability. Human interpreters take ownership of their work. These are not minor details. They're the core of professional interpretation. And this is our unique value proposition, our irreplaceable edge. Let's look at some specific tools that embody this human plus AI approach, starting with preparation. Now, Google's Notebook LM is a fantastic example of an AI research assistant designed with privacy in mind. You can upload all your preparation materials, documents, PDFs, PowerPoints, even website links or YouTube transcripts into a private notebook. This Notebook LM that analyzes only the content that you have uploaded. It doesn't train its general models on your data, which is crucial for confidentiality. You can ask it to summarize documents, generate FAQs, extract a key terminology, or simply ask specific questions about the material. Imagine uploading all conference papers and asking, what are the main arguments against proposal X or Y? So this allows for a highly efficient preparation workflow. You can use Notebook LM for deep dives into client-specific materials, and perhaps supplement with broader AI searches like ChatGPT or Gemini, to get the general industry knowledge. But you have to be mindful of the accuracy because sometimes illusion may happen, and maybe use web scraping to, for some very latest buzzwords. So next, let's move on to from preparation to live assistance during the assignment itself. I wanted to introduce TerpMate, a computer-assisted interpreting or KAI tool developed by GreenTerp Technologies. There are many other tools in the market. The reason why I chose this tool is not only because GreenTerp has developed it, but there are some features that are non-existent in the market and that are super useful for interpreters. I'm sure not a lot of people have actually seen it, and that's why I chose this example to do a quick introduction and maybe a demonstration. So what makes TerpMate stand out is that it was conceived and built by interpreters specifically to address the pain points we face daily. It's not a repurposed tool from a tech giant like Google or Microsoft. It's designed from ground up with our workflow, our security needs, and efficiency in mind. It aims to be an extension of interpreters' skill set, not just another piece of tech for you to manage. So TerpMate's first major innovation is offline first ASR engine. The speech recognition happens directly on your laptop or your tablet, on par with an online engine. This means two critical things. First, you don't need a constant, stable internet connection for it to work, making it reliable even in challenging on-site environment. Second, crucially for confidentiality, your source audio will never leave your device. It is not sent to Google, Microsoft, or any other third-party cloud server for processing. It provides military-grade security, ensuring absolute client confidentiality, which is non-negotiable in many high-stakes assignments. Beyond security and safety, TerpMate is packed with features designed to specifically for your workflow. A key aspect is the ability to run it seamlessly on the same device as your meeting platform, such as Zoom or Teams, eliminating the need to juggle between two laptops or split your attention. During the interpretation, it provides a live ASR transcript so you can quickly catch up if you miss something. It integrates with your prepared glossaries, reminding you of the key terms. This is going to be very useful when you're doing some seriously technical job or medical or legal jobs. A unique force replacement feature lets you instantly correct ASR if it mishears a crucial term or a crucial name. It also includes live dictionary access. With internet connection, glossary lists can be shared and updated in real time among boothmates, allowing interpreters to assist each other with glossary challenges on the go. And for assignments with scripts, the bilingual reader is revolutionary. It allows you to scroll through the source and the target language documents side by side, perfectly synchronized and even allowing for edits and highlights. Finally, TurpMate aims to be accessible. It utilizes a fixed rate subscription model, $10 per month after a trial, offering unlimited use. So this predictable pricing avoids the bill shock that can come with any pay-per-use cloud services. The goal is to put a powerful, secure, and purpose-built Kai tool within the reach of every professional interpreter, helping us leverage technology effectively and affordably. So demo time. I think we can still have some time for a demo. So let me just quickly pull up the Notebook LM. So you can just go to notebooklm.google.com, all right? And then as a free user, you can create as many notebooks as you want. But if you want to share it with your partners, then you need a subscription. If you use it alone yourself, you don't need any subscription. It's for free use as long as you have a Gmail account. And then first thing, when you create a project, you just need to add in the sources. Now, these sources are the documents that you have gathered related to your projects, related to the conference that you're going to work for, or the legal case that you're going to interpret for. So just drop them here, like text file, PDF file. You can also upload Google Docs, Google Slides, website, as well as YouTube's, all right? You can also paste some simple text over here. And then it can support up to, for free users, it can support up to 50 source documents. Now, I have a real case here. So this is a conference that I did before, all right? And then I've uploaded some of the addresses, keynote addresses, or PowerPoint slides, etc., in there. And so immediately it will give me a summary and give me a title of what this conference is about, right? And you can see it actually get out the gist. If you want a much longer abstract or summary, you can probably go to here. There's a study guide and there's a briefing document, all right? So if you create a briefing document, it will generate a longer abstract based on the 6 sources that you have here. Every time you upload another source, all these information will be updated. So for example, the briefing document is ready. You can take a look at it. You know, when is the date of the conference, the subject, the summary, the key themes is very much in detail. You can see the key points in here. So this really helps you to have a high level understanding when you're preparing for your conference. And coming back here, you can also have study guide. Now, I think I've actually done some study guide here. So you can see it gives you a small quiz, but more importantly, it has, I think, some keywords, like key terms, okay? These are written in English language, but later I'm going to show you we can actually get the glossary list out of it as well. And it's very, very specific to this conference alone, all right? So you can see all these key terms, the definition, as well as the explanation and the answers. So similarly, you have the FAQ. You can basically generate an FAQ. I think I have something generated before. Then it's in the forms of, this is the timeline. So sometimes you were given a MC scripts, okay? And you were not given an agenda, weirdly, you know? And then how do you do that? You just generate the timeline, and basically it shows you what will happen at what time. and who is going to speak and give you the title. So you get a glance over it and you will be able to quickly get what this event is about, how the event flow is like. And more importantly, it gives you an audio summary or audio overview. Most of the time, it's in the form of a dialogue or conversation by a male and female, a guest and a host. And so they will have a conversation. One is asking question, the other is answering the questions, and they will be talking about the key topics and key themes. I'm going to demonstrate this. How useful is that? All right. Before we do that, let's go down here. So I've actually have some prompts here to ask Notebook LM to list down the glossary list for me, one column in English and the other column in the Chinese translation. I'm a Mandarin translator, so I asked it for Chinese translation, and immediately I can actually get this. I cut out all the long terms and I take all the references in this prompt. So what it gives you is like this. But if you don't take out the references, they will basically give you references. You ask a question like this, and they will give you the answer with references. Which document says that? And you can trace back to the document and do more detailed reading there. So this is very simple, and this will be, if you copy this, this will be your glossary list. You can just simply paste it in 2 columns into an Excel spreadsheet, and that will be the input to your TurtMate glossary list. Okay, and then next I'm going to show you how we use this to help you do an audio preparation. Okay, so this is TurtMate after you have logged in desktop version. It is basically an ASR window, and you can go to the settings, select the theme, color, and font size, etc. And as you can select different models for different primary and secondary language. In this case, I set English as my primary language and Mandarin as a secondary language, and we have the offline model, which doesn't connect to the internet at all. And then we can run it. So here you can basically select all the microphones available to your computer. If you are on-site, you will probably select a USB audio interface or input to from a USB external. But if you are working for a Zoom meeting, for example, or a Teams meeting, and you can just simply select system audio, and the system audio will be injected into TurtMate, and you will be able to hear that. So what I can illustrate here is that I'm going to play this video, this audio recording here, and I hope everybody can hear that. Then we will have the ASR to go through that audio, and you will be able to review what's going to be the content. And this is going to be input for both your auditory input as well as your visual input. And this is the most effective way of learning. You see it and you hear it. And at the same time, you can improve your glossary list. All right, so this is the glossary management list where you can create your own vocabulary. And then after you create it, you can manage it. You can just drop those 2-column Excel file in there, and it will be something like this. All right, so I can select the list of the vocabulary. I can choose multiple vocabularies. I can even share it with different users, like my booth mates. I can have 3-4 booth mates. I can share with remotely. And then here I have this force replacement. I can create another vocabulary, all right, and then vocabulary list, which is for force replacement. If there is a wrong pronunciation or the ASR hear it wrongly, I will give the correct name or a correct term in here so that it will link to the glossary list. So maybe I'll do a quick demonstration, and this will help you understand. So first of all, let me play this audio.
We hear a lot about cutting carbon emissions, obviously. It's central to the climate change discussion.
Absolutely, mitigation is key.
But there's this other side, equally critical. That's
I'm
not sure if you can hear it.
The future and the money flowing into the space. It's huge. We're looking at projections of what, $1.3 trillion
Computer is a little bit slow.
by
Let me just,
2050.
Exactly. So today, let's take a deep dive at that, this whole investment frontier.
Sounds good.
because
It's really about
using,
managing the unavoidable.
okay, let me try again. Okay, this time is working. So I hope everybody can. Let me just pause this. I hope everybody has heard this recording playing and see this how this transcript comes out, how instant that is, and how accurate that is. Now during this during the ASR process, if you're interpreting and your booth mates may be running the same thing, and they are able to come out with certain corrections, like using force replacement, or for example, this Nick is not correct. I will double click here and force it to be Nick. So you will see this correction here. And if I have any keywords that I don't know, let's say, for example, I don't know the meaning of resources, I can just put it into the glossary, or I can change the meaning here. Sometimes, one word in English may correspond to several meanings in your target language. So you can change the meaning here. But let's say I put it in here. So this will be shown here. This will be shown in your screen as well as your booth partner screen if they're running the same TerpMate session, and you have shared the glossary list with them and they're listening to the same audio, then this will be updated in real time on both computers. So this is about a TerpMate, all right? And then the other thing I want to show you is the bilingual reader here. If I click on the bilingual reader, then this is something it looks like. I can load in a folder with all the documents that I'm going to use for this event. For example, if I have a speech here, I can basically select the language from English to Mandarin, and I have 3 engines to do machine translation on an instant. For example, if I use Google and I'll just translate, this will immediately be translated. And of course, I can just delete or do something and then type in something, and ABC, for example, and then I can actually save it. So next time, this will be, when I click on this document, it will automatically be loaded. I can also add a document that I translated maybe manually by myself on the right-hand side. So I will be able to have the right translation. I can follow this. But sometimes when we are interpreting, especially when the target language is a machine translated script, we got to be referring to the original script every now and then to make sure that we interpret it correctly. So this is going to be something helpful. You can resize this. You can change the font size. You can even enlarge the fonts or make it smaller. And when you are scrolling, you can see the highlight and you can see it's in synchronization. Now, if this speech has 20 pages and my colleague took over from me, and then when I come back, she didn't finish. All right. So what we'll do, I will probably hear some keywords and I will search here like like G, F, A, and Z, chief ends, then it will highlight. It will highlight all the chief ends. Then I may be able to see, okay, she's here, and then I'll take over from here and continue the speech. All right, so this is so this is the bilingual reader and the TerpMate. Okay, let's come back to my presentation. Okay, so I'm coming to the end. All right. So what is the path forward for us as individual interpreters and for our profession as a whole? Technology, including AI, is not going away. It will continue to evolve. And this doesn't mean that we will discard our core competencies that define us. Our foundation skills, deep linguistic proficiency, analytical capabilities, memory techniques, ethical conduct, cultural understanding, these are all more important than ever. They are the bedrock upon which we build ourselves. However, we must also embrace technological literacy as a fundamental, non-negotiable skill set for the modern interpreter. We need to learn how to critically evaluate and effectively use tools like Notebook LM, TurtMate, and many others. We need to understand AI's strengths and weaknesses to leverage it wisely and explain these limitations to our clients. Developing efficient hybrid workflows is the key. Interpreter training institutions have a vital role to play here, needing to integrate robust technology training alongside the traditional skills development. So in conclusion, the AI era presents challenges, but also tremendous opportunities for interpreters willing to adapt. AI speech translation in its current form is a tool, a potentially powerful one, but it is not an interpreter. Our path forward involves understanding this technology deeply, cutting through the marketing hypes, and strategically embracing tools that enhance rather than replace our unique human skills and capabilities. Let's guard the quality and ethical standards of our profession fiercely, while embracing the tools that can make us more efficient and effective. Let's focus on building trust, applying ethical judgments, navigating nuances, and fostering human connection, the things machines cannot replace or replicate. The future favors the interpreter masters human plus AI equation. Be the plus. I encourage you all to explore tools like Notebook LM, TurtMate, and others, adapt your workflows, and continue to champion the unparalleled quality that only a professional human interpreter can provide. Thank you. I'm not sure if you have time for questions.